while I was dreaming of forever with her, she was busy sneaking around with someone else. I had no clue that the woman I loved was seeing a coworker behind my back. When the truth finally surfaced, I didn't shout or ask for answers. I just vanished. My name is Jason, 29 years old. I was with Mia for more than 4 years. We lived under the same roof, shared everything from meals to late-night talks. I believed with all my heart that she was my future. Our lives were deeply intertwined. Our social circles, our daily routines, and every plan we made. But a few months back, something shifted. Mia began working late more than usual. Her phone was always flipped face down. I'd catch her laughing at texts she never showed me. Anytime I brought it up, she'd snap, claiming I didn't trust her. I let it slide, thinking maybe I was just being paranoid. Then one night, everything came crashing down. She had left her email open on our shared laptop. I wasn't looking for anything. I just needed to check something quickly. That's when I saw them, a long thread of flirtatious emails between her and a guy named Ryan, her new colleague. They'd booked hotel rooms together. They had planned nights I thought she was spending with her girlfriends. There were even pictures, undeniable proof. It felt like someone had punched a hole through my chest. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I quietly closed the laptop and just sat there, frozen, empty, for hours. And that's when it came to me. Not revenge, not confrontation, just escape. I waited patiently. I kept watching. And when Mia went to visit her family one Saturday, I made my move. I gathered up all my belongings, my clothes, my laptop, my watch, my toiletries. I left behind everything we had purchased together. I didn't want reminders. I didn't want arguments. I blocked her number, blocked her on every social platform. No message, no note, just silence. Later, I heard from mutual friends what happened. Mia returned that evening to find our apartment half empty. My side of the closet was bare. The bathroom cabinet had only her things now. She tried calling me, over and over, dozens of missed calls, floods of texts, none of which got through. She even reached out to my parents. My mom picked up the phone and calmly said, "Jason's okay. He just doesn't want to talk." I stayed quiet, completely off the grid. Then Erica, one of Mia's close friends, messaged me. "Are you all right? Mia's losing it." I replied simply, "I'm okay. I know about Ryan." She didn't say anything after that. Not a word. Apparently, Mia was pretending not to understand why I left, telling people I just disappeared out of nowhere, that she was heartbroken, confused, scared, painting herself as a victim. I couldn't let her rewrite the story. So, without drama or spite, I sent screenshots of the emails to a few trusted friends. They deserved to know the truth behind my silent exit. Slowly, the tide turned. People stopped responding to her. Friends pulled away. Even Ryan, the guy she cheated with, distanced himself once the fallout began. He couldn't deal with the attention or the mess. I heard Mia tried spinning the narrative again, saying our relationship had been falling apart, that I was too absorbed in my job, that she felt neglected and lonely. But the people who really knew us, who saw the way I treated her, weren't buying it. They remembered how I never let a day go by without telling her I loved her, how I prioritized her, planned getaways, made time for her no matter how packed my schedule was. I didn't vanish because of one mistake. I left because she shattered my trust. And without trust, what's left? Word got back to me that she couldn't sleep, panic attacks, no appetite, constantly asking people why I would walk away like that without a word. But the real question was, why would she throw it all away for a few months of lies? I wasn't out for vengeance. I didn't want her to suffer. I just needed peace. And for me, peace meant distance. She expected a fight, a dramatic breakup, screaming closure. I gave her none of that, because not every betrayal deserves closure. Some only deserve silence. It had been nearly 2 months since I left. I hadn't spoken to her, hadn't posted anything. I found a small apartment across the city. Nothing fancy, just quiet. No reminders of her. Just room to breathe again. I wasn't broken anymore. The anger had faded. I was simply done. But Mia hadn't stopped looking for me. Through friends, I learned she was still asking around, sending desperate messages to anyone who would listen. Where's Jason? Is he okay? Why won't he talk to me? She still didn't understand. Then one day, everything shifted again. It started with photo. A mutual friend posted a group picture on their Instagram story. Just a regular hangout. Laughing over coffee at my favorite cafe. But in the background, there I was. She saw it. The very next morning, I sat at my usual spot, 8:30 a.m., laptop open, coffee in hand, when I felt a shadow loom over me. I looked up. It was her. Mia, hair curled, makeup flawless, dressed like she was about to ace an interview. Her eyes locked on mine, wide with disbelief. Jason, she breathed out, voice trembling. That was all. Just my name. No hello. No apology. Just shock. You just left, she whispered, her voice cracking. No warning. No goodbye. I noticed people in the cafe, beginning to glance over. I didn't want a scene. Sit, I said quietly. She slid into the chair across from me, still staring. Her voice wavered. For years, and you vanished like I never mattered. I kept calm. You know exactly why I left, Mia. She shook her head, lips quivering. You should have talked to me. Let me explain. Explain what? I asked, my tone still low. How you were sleeping with Ryan while I was planning our next trip together. Or was it just something you did to feel alive again? Her eyes welled up. It wasn't like that. You were always working. We were drifting apart. I lifted my hand and said firmly, that's enough. I'm not here to let you rewrite what happened just so you can sleep better at night. She flinched, visibly hurt. But I wasn't going to let guilt steer the conversation. Then why did you send Erica to check in on me? She snapped. If you didn't care, why bother? I exhaled slowly. Because I'm not heartless. I didn't want to see you unravel. But that doesn't mean I owe you anything. Not forgiveness, not closure. My tone stayed even. The moment you crossed that line, it was over. I didn't destroy us. I just walked away from the wreckage you caused. Weeks passed after that awkward cafe encounter. I assumed that was the final chapter. Mia stopped trying to reach me. Our mutual friends stopped bringing her up. The noise faded and life grew still. I focused on work, hit the gym more, found a rhythm that didn't include her. Then, late one night, I got a text from an unknown number. Hi, Jason. It's Emma. We need to talk. Emma? It took a second to register. At first, I thought she meant Ryan's ex. But then I remembered Emma was an old friend of Mia's, someone she hadn't mentioned in years. I hesitated and replied, What's this about? Her response came quickly. It's about Mia. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Riverwalk Cafe. Please come alone. I didn't know what she wanted, but curiosity got the better of me. The next day, I got there early and picked a quiet spot in the back. At exactly 3 o'clock, Emma walked in, taller than I remember from pictures. Confident, no engagement ring, eyes scanning until they landed on me. She approached with a measured grace and sat down. Jason? She asked gently. Yeah. Emma? She nodded. Thanks for meeting me. I know this is unusual. You could say that. I replied, So why are we here? She inhaled deeply. I'm not here on Mia's behalf. She doesn't know I reached out to you. This isn't for her. Then what is this? I asked, cautious. I needed to see you. The guy she still can't stop talking about, she said, her voice low but steady. That caught me off guard. She still brings me up? Emma's eyes didn't waver. Even now, you're still living rent-free in her head. She's stuck, Jason. She replays what happened over and over. I didn't say a word. I'm not here to excuse what she did, Emma continued. But I've watched her fall apart in ways I never expected. She thought you'd scream, or beg for answers, maybe even forgive her eventually. I leaned back. Then she never knew me at all. Emma nodded slowly. Exactly why I'm here. Then she asked something that stopped me cold. Did you ever tell her how much trust really meant to you? About your past? What betrayal did to you before? I hesitated. She knew the basics. I told her my parents' marriage fell apart because of cheating. I told her I don't believe in rebuilding trust once it's broken. She heard you, Emma said, but she thought love would be enough to fix it. She thought if you loved her, you'd fight for her. She made her decision. I said quietly, and I made mine. Emma nodded again. I understand, but I also came here to ask you something else. To help both of you let go of the fantasy you're holding on to. What fantasy? That this story isn't finished. That somehow, if the timing had been better or the right word were said, things could be fixed. I stayed silent because part of me, some small, buried part, had thought the same. You're still carrying the weight of what she did, she said. And maybe you're still wondering if disappearing like that was the right move. It was, I replied, but even I could hear the uncertainty in my voice. She told me how kind you were, loyal, how you never miss a chance to show her she mattered. You didn't just walk away from love, Jason. You walked away from being betrayed. But the way you left, it shocked her. Shock isn't the same as regret, I said flatly. True, Emma said, rising from her seat. Then she paused. But dragging that silence behind you won't bring healing. Not for her. Not for you. She started to walk away, then turned back. I didn't come here to get you back together. I came to thank you. I blinked. For what? For showing me what real love looks like when it's respected. Mia didn't understand what she had, but watching her lose it, it taught me what I deserve. She smiled, the kind that carried a little sadness and a lot of strength. I hope you find peace, Jason. The real kind, not just the quiet kind. And when you're ready, I hope you love again, the way you did before someone broke it. Then she turned and walked out, leaving behind something that felt a lot like closure. I sat there long after she left, lost in thought. She wasn't wrong. I'd walked away to preserve my peace. But in doing so, I'd locked myself in a quiet prison of old wounds. Maybe it was time to finally step out of that silence and truly move on. 2 months later, I thought I had. Things had settled. I was focused, lighter somehow. Then my phone buzzed. A group message popped up from Isla, someone we both used to hang out with. It was an invite, a private rooftop party, an engagement celebration. The name stopped me cold. Mia and Lucas. Lucas? I stared at the screen, rereading it, trying to figure out if this was actually meant for me. I realized I must have been left in some long-forgotten group chat. Isla must have missed removing my name. It had to be a mistake. I should have ignored it, closed the app, but I didn't. The name Lucas kept echoing in my head. Who was he? How long had they been together? Had she really let go of everything so fast? That night, just past midnight, I made up my mind. I wasn't planning drama. No scenes. I just needed to see her. Needed to know if there was anything left in me. Anger, resentment, regret. Or if I had truly moved on. I cleaned up, put on a fresh shirt, shaved, tried to look composed. I looked good. I felt off. Not because I still loved her, but because I wasn't sure if I still hated her. I arrived just after 8:30. The rooftop was glowing under fairy lights, music low, voices buzzing. It was beautiful, honestly. I walked to the hostess and said with quiet confidence, Jason Cole, I'm here for the engagement party. She checked the tablet, then looked up, puzzled. I'm sorry you're not listed here. Of course I wasn't. Then I heard my name, hesitant and surprised. Jason? Isla stood nearby, holding a glass of champagne. Her face turned pale. I got this, I said, holding up my phone. Group text. Came from you. She peered at the screen, then frowned. That wasn't meant for you. You shouldn't have gotten that. I'm sorry. Around us, heads began to turn. And then, through the crowd, I spotted her. Mia. She stood beside a man in a navy suit. Lucas. I assumed. They were laughing with a group of friends. But her expression shifted the moment her eyes found mine. The smile dropped. She froze. Lucas noticed her reaction and placed a hand gently on her back. Protective. He didn't say anything, just stood firm next to her. Her eyes didn't leave mine. And what I saw there wasn't anger or love. It was guilt. I barely caught the hostess speaking quietly into her radio. "Security to rooftop," she whispered. Isla reached for my arm. "Jason, please, this isn't the time. She's finally in a good place." I nodded. "I'm leaving." But before I turned, I gave Mia one final look. She was surrounded by celebration, by people who were happy for her. Lucas leaned in and said something in her ear. She nodded. They looked solid, natural, real. I turned to Isla. "Tell her congratulations. Tell her I truly hope she's happy this time." Isla's voice softened. "She's not the same woman anymore." I gave her a faint smile. "I'm not the same man either." Security didn't drag me out, but they escorted me to the elevator like I was some forgotten ghost. Back in the cab, I sat quietly, staring out the window as the city blurred by. That was it. Not a confrontation. Not closure wrapped in perfect words. Just a moment of truth. Seeing for myself that she had moved on, not just in body, but in heart and spirit. Later that night, I got one more message. From Emma. "You heard," it read. "She's engaged." "Yeah," I replied. "How do you feel?" I stared the question for a long while before I typed back one word. Free. Not bitter. Not broken. Just unburdened. Like I'd finally set down a weight I hadn't realized I'd been dragging all this time. Mia's betrayal had left a scar. But I'd let that scar become a wall. And it had been long enough. The next morning, I called my sister. "I think I'm ready." I told her. "For what?" she asked gently. "To really talk. To finally move on." There was a pause on her end. Then, "Come over. I've been waiting for you to say that." And so I did. That day, something inside me shifted. I didn't heal by diving into someone new or chasing old closure. I started healing by letting go, by forgiving myself for letting the past live rent-free in my mind for so long. We all make decisions. Mia made hers. I made mine. Now I'm choosing peace. Not silence. Not revenge. Not regret. Just peace.